Hey guys, in this lesson we're going to talk about systems of equations. Now you're probably used to finding the solutions to systems of linear equations using either a graph or substitution. Well, in this lesson we're going to twist it a little bit. Instead of just doing two linear equations, we're going to have a system of equations that has a linear equation and a quadratic equation simultaneously. And we're going to solve this unique system of equations both graphically and by using substitution. So let's take a look at a problem together. Jamie and Luke are at the park. Jamie throws a baseball into the air while Luke is flying a kite. Now the following graph represents the path of the ball and the path of the kite. So take a look at this graph. You can see that there's a parabola and there's a straight line. So we know that the system of equations has two different types of functions, right? One is linear and one is quadratic. Now the path of the baseball is represented by the equation y equals negative 16x squared plus 12x plus 4. And this is the parabola. The path of the kite is represented by the equation y equals 4x plus 4. And this is the straight line. Now, what you want to find is if both friends are standing next to each other, when do the paths of the kite and the ball cross? To solve this, we will first use the substitution method. Now I'm just going to scroll down so we have some space. We only need the graph now. So if we're working with the substitution method, we can look at the two equations. For the equation of the kite, you have y equals the expression 4x plus 4. So what we're going to do is substitute the expression 4x plus 4 into the equation down below for y. So let's do that. You have 4x plus 4 equals negative 16x squared plus 12x plus 4. Now what you want to do is combine all of the like terms to the right side of the equation so that we can set the equation equal to 0. So begin by bringing the 4 to the right side. And you would do that by subtracting 4 from both sides. When you subtract 4 from both sides, you're left with 4x equals negative 16x squared plus 12x. Now you can bring the 4x to the right side as well, and you would do that by subtraction again. So subtract 4x from both sides. On the left, you're left with 0. And on the right, you get 16x squared plus 8x, right? Because you have to subtract 4x away. So now that we have the expression set equal to 0, what we can do is factor the right side, right? So we're going to factor the right side by pulling out 8x. This is the greatest common factor. So you'll have 0 equals 8x times negative 2x plus 1. Now that we've got the expression factored, we can solve for x. So to do that, you would say 0 equals 8x and, right, and there's a little and sign, 0 equals negative 2x plus 1. Now the reason that I did this setting equal to 0 is because you know on the right side, if the quantity 8x or if the quantity negative 2x plus 1 equals 0, then the entire expression equals 0. So that's why you do this step. So now solve for x here with 0 equals 8x. Divide both sides by 8. 0 divided by 8 is 0, so x equals 0 over here. Now begin solving for x over here. To do that, you're going to subtract 1 to the left side of the equation, so negative 1 equals negative 2x. Now divide both sides by negative 2. When you do that, you get positive 1/2 equals x. So now these are the values that we get for x. What you do with that now is substitute both of these values for x back into the linear equation, and this way you'll solve for y. So let's do that with the first value, x equals 0. So you have y equals 4x plus 4. Now if x equals 0, you would substitute that in, right? Plus 4. 4 times 0 is 0, so in this case y equals 4. We did that by substituting x equals 0 in, so the ordered pair for this solution is x equals 0, y equals 4. Now what I'm going to do is erase this work over here since we don't need it. We're done with that. And we're going to do the same method for the other solution we have of x, which is x equals 1/2. So again, you're using the linear equation to substitute your value of x. So we got the 1/2 in for x now, plus 4. 4 times 1/2 is 2. So you're left with y equals 2 plus 4, and 2 plus 4 equals 6. So we have the solution x equals 1/2, y equals 6. So what this means is that the paths of the kite and the baseball will intersect one another at 2 points, the point 0, 4 and the point 1/2, 6. Now we can check this graphically as well, and I'm just going to erase some of the extra marks that we've made up here so it's a little bit clearer to see. Now go into the graph and see if this holds true. Look for the point 0, 4. So this means x equals 0, which brings us to the y-axis, y equals 4, which puts us right up here. And you do see a point of intersection here. Next point is 1/2, 6. 1/2 x is right here. Now go up 6 units, and you see the intersection there? Perfect. This is exactly what you calculated. In this lesson, you've learned how to solve systems of equations when the equations are mixed, like a linear equation and a quadratic equation. Thanks for watching.